Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Journey Across the Galaxy. We are continuing on our way to Beagle Point, having already crossed through the center of the galaxy from the bubble. Today's topic is going to be my exploration build and why I chose to go with the build that I went. But before we get to that, let me go through my standard spiel for any of the new viewers who are joining us just now. We're heading off in this direction towards Beagle Point. We are right here, and this is our current waypoint. So that's that. Let's get off the ground, up into space, onto our next waypoint, and I can continue talking about the process that we do while we play, and then we'll get to the actual topic of the video. All right, come on. Get the mass lock off. What's on it? Can I go straight to the next one? Yes. Love it when they let me do that. All right, let me get my vector pointed in the right direction. So, if you're just joining us now, we have a cycle of operations that we do. We hop into a system, as we're going to do right now. And then once we get to the system, we will pop the Discovery scanner to see how many bodies are in the system. And then once we finish our fuel scooping operation, we will hop into the Full Spectrum System scanner to see if there are any high-value planets available on the frequency scanner, or whatever it is that you call it at the bottom. And then if there are 15 bodies or less, where you can see there's only 12, 15-ish, it changes depending on my mood, but generally around 15 bodies, then we will go ahead and do a full-on scan. Let's see, hold on. Somebody made a point of letting me know, of reminding me that if I could fly a little bit perpendicular to the plane of the system, then I could have a much better chance of not having the star get in my way. So yeah. All right, so we did the full spectrum, we did the Discovery scanner. We'll hop in the Full Spectrum System scanner. You can see the spectral analysis thing down here. We're looking for Earth-like worlds, ammonia worlds, and water worlds as far as planetary scanning. But because there are only 12 bodies in this system, we're going to go ahead and do a full-on scan of every body in here, hoping to find a biological signature. So if you look in the top right of the screen, you will see geological there for 2, but we're looking for biological. And we do want to find at least 2 before we're going to invest the time to go actually scan the planet, go down and, actually do the scanning of the biology. So I'm making a list of topics that you guys are interested. Oop, there we go. That's what we're looking for. I'm making a list and checking it twice of the of the topics that you guys are interested in having me talk about. So be sure to leave down in the comments if you have something you want me to discuss, because I will add it to the list and try to make sure I include it in one of my videos. As I said, today's topic is my exploration build and the reasons why I chose to go with the build that I went. You know what? I need to remember to write down who it was that asked me to do that, because I don't recall off the top of my head who it was who asked that question. I'll try to remember to write that down when I get a topic that somebody wants me to do. But as far as exploration builds go, in general, you're trying to remove as much weight as you can and boost and add enhancements that boost your jump range. So did I get the Super Cruise Assist? Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to get the throttle set. So as far as all of my random stuff goes, I have the Guardian Shift, the 5H Guardian Shift frame shift drive booster. That adds, I think, 10 light years to your. Does it tell me what it does? Yeah, it adds 10 and a half light years to my overall jump range. And then obviously I have the biggest frame shift drive that I can have with the engineering with the max increased frame shift drive. Sorry, I got to keep checking to make sure that doesn't go into that. I'm not going to crash. And also Mass Manager. Mass Manager, I think, I don't remember. It's complex software upgrade to optimize frame shift operation by analyzing. It's an engineering mod that just increases your jump range when you apply it. So obviously, in any of the ships that you're doing for exploration, that is going to be your #1 priority. Biggest frame shift drive you can get. Engineer it for increased range, and there's Mass Manager and another mod that I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong direction. I need full speed. Hold on, we're slowing down. There's Mass Manager, and I forget what the other one is, but there's a second mod that you can go for that also has to do with increasing your jump range, but that one is primarily intended for smaller ships. I can't remember the name of it right now. It won't pop into my head. But either way, though that in addition to getting your Guardian frame shift booster are the two biggest things that you can do to increase your jump range. And obviously, if you're going out for exploration, you want to have a big jump range. Not necessarily because you're always trying to go as far as you can, as fast as you can, but you want to have the option. You don't want to be forced to have to take a very long time to get somewhere. If you change your mind out in the black, you don't want to be stuck with something that only does, 20 or 30 light years, and you spent the last month getting halfway out to a destination, and you're just like, you want to go back, and now you're stuck having to do twice as many jumps when it already takes hundreds of jumps to get somewhere. So you're always going to want to max out your frame shift drive and your jump range with that. As far as thrusters, you generally want to choose, if you're going for the optimum setup as far as jump range goes, you want to pick the smallest thrusters that you can put on your ship and still have some kind of control. But as somebody who's impatient and I like flying around across surfaces as fast as I can, I personally chose to go for the biggest. I have 6A thrusters on here with clean drive tuning and drag drives because I like speed. And I wanted thrusters that were going to allow me to have a little bit more stopping power than I had with the thrusters I had on here first. When I first started this series, I didn't get very far because I ended up... Oh, gotta turn off the Super Cruise Assist. I didn't get very far because I ended up crashing into a planet because I oversped across the ground and didn't have the thruster power to slow me down fast enough to not die. So after that, I decided to go ahead and just upgrade to the 6A thrusters. That is not the optimum strategy when it comes to an exploration build. If you are the kind of person who is perfectly fine taking your sweet time, looking for things on the ground and all of that stuff, you want to go for the smallest thrusters that provide you with the level of control that you can deal with. So don't follow my example if you're going for a purely exploration build. I wanted the bigger thrusters because I valued the safety of my ship more than I did, eking out every possible light year of jump range that I could find. Once we get down out of here, I guess we're going down. Let's see, what else do we want? I'm trying to look for the main ones. Power distributor and the power plant, you want to go as low as you can, and you basically just want to engineer them to the point where they're giving you everything that you need. So I currently have charge enhanced power. I really wish I had gone with engine enhanced, but this is what I had, and super conduits, which basically makes it so that my power systems are constantly increasing very quickly. All right, we'll get back to that once we're done with this, because right now we need to focus on finding some fonticula. Okay, landing gears down.
Landing gear deployed.
A lot of rocks here. It's really frustrating when there's a lot of rocks because it makes it very difficult to find anything, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. Oh, no, that's it. That's some right there. I have the biggest thrusters, and look how long it's taking me to slow down to go back and... You know what I mean? So imagine if I had 1 or 2 levels lower of thruster right here. The reversing thrusters on a lot of these ships are just garbage. Okay, come on, land. There we go. All right, so we'll get this scanned. If we can find the bacteria here, then we'll do that. But realistically, on these white planets, the bacteria tends to be white, and they can be very difficult to see. Now, it's always nice when we have first footfall. Fonticula campestris, emerald. So there's some more right there, but I'm not convinced that that's far enough. Ooh, okay, here we go. Get down here to this relatively flat spot. Get this one scanned, then we'll move on. And then once we're done scanning these, we'll go ahead, hop back up into space, and probably head over towards the other one. There was another 2 biology planet. Okay, that's 2. Hop up, skim the surface, and find another one. And with so many rocks, it's just going to be, it'll be extra hard to see any of the bacteria here, so we'll keep going to the next set. Okay, and let's get this scanned. Waiting for it to finish disposing of the sample, so I didn't have to sit through that animation next time. Let's fly around for just a second to make sure that we're not going to be able to see the bacteria on this planet. I think it's probably white patches of bacteria, like it is on most of these ice worlds. So realistically, they can be very hard to spot. I think I saw some there, but they can be very difficult to see. Yeah, see that right there? See how it's just very similar in color, but you know, I'd like to get them if we can. We're here, so we might as well grab it. Okay, can you? Oh. Mouse keeps going outside of the window. Bacterium vesicula, lime. Hopefully we can find 2 more of those relatively. Once you find a bacterium, they tend to be pretty close together after that. It's just sometimes you gotta find where they are first. Right here. Okay, hopefully this is far enough away. Be far enough away, please. Yes. I mean, you don't really have to go that far for most of these. Especially when you're getting in your ship and flying around, it doesn't really take that long to get far enough away. I tend to overcorrect because it's irritating to go through all that landing process and then only to find out that, oh, you're too close. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to... Ooh. If you are curious, I am using a keyboard only right now, and I have been for a little while because I'm in the process of moving and most of my stuff is put away. And also I haven't really felt like setting up my joysticks and stuff. So I'm in a situation, I need to figure out a setup that allows me to keep all of that stuff continually plugged in so I don't have to, so I can just, you know, pull it out and go instead of having to go through a setup process every time. Let's see. Do we seriously not have any? This is the frustrating part where you're like, can you just give me the last one, please? Come on. Gimme. Well, the problem is that the bacterium are always going to be in a very flat spot. And we're kind of in this rolling hill section. Oop. come on. We were like right there. We just have one more to go, and they just won't give it to me. Gimme, 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 gimme. Alright, let's get past all of these rocks, these mountains and rocks and stuff here, and hopefully we can find some. Hopefully we can find something over here on this side. I don't know though. They seem intent on. Oh, here we go, right here. Alright, so I think what we'll do is let's get some jumps down after we're done with this. I know we could go to the other one, but realistically, it's probably just going to be Fonticula again, and I'd like to get a few more jumps down. We don't necessarily we found our biology for this episode. I'd like to get some distance under our belts. It's taking us it's going to take us. It's already going to take us a very long time to get to Beagle Point. I mean, we still probably have a couple of months with the rate of travel that we're taking. So let's get off the ground, get on our way towards the next destination. It'll give me a chance to continue talking about my exploration build. That's done. Get that set to the next. Oh, that sucks. Fortunately, our destination star is behind us, so we're gonna have to sit and climb out of the atmosphere. But I mean, I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's gonna give me a minute to talk a little bit more about our exploration loadout. So, like I was saying, for the power distributor in the power plant, you want to go for the smallest items you can get. You want to overcharge your power plant. Go for the smallest power plant you can get, and then overcharge it to meet your power needs. Thermal spread is a really good one because it helps keep you from overheating, and that's one of the big reasons why I can pretty much just sit by a star and fuel scoop, and it's not that big of an issue for me. Let's see. And then obviously you want to go for the lightweight mods on your sensors and on your life support, because that increases, it's a small increase, but every little bit counts. You want to go for lightweight on both of those. Lightweight scanner. Let's start getting turned around so we can. There we go. There we go. All right, and then let's see what else. So I think that's all of the main things. The only other things I can talk about are just the fact that I have a shield generator. You don't necessarily need one, because you're almost never going to be in a situation where you're going to be fighting anything. I have shields because, as you can see, I tend to fly fairly recklessly, and I want to have the ability to be able to do that and not continually be taking hull damage. So that shields do significantly in that it takes a couple of light years off of your max total, but it does have an effect on your overall jump range. And for most explorers, jump range is king. They want the max jump range. They want to be able to jump as far as they can, because, the further you can jump, the less jumps you have to do to get where you're going. That's absolutely a thing you should be thinking about. But, especially if I wasn't doing as much in the way of exobiology, I might consider not having a shield, because then I'm not really going to be trying to skim the ground and do a bunch of landing and stuff. But with as much time as we're spending skimming the ground looking for things, I wanted to make sure I had a shield. And then, so the only other things I can think of, obviously you're going to want to have some kind of, depending on your style of how you decide to do exploration, you're going to want to have an SRV bay. This ship has a 2-bay SRV bay, so I have 2 SRVs down there in the cargo bay, or cargo area, or whatever it is you want to call it. 3 bodies. I see 1 star. I see 1 star. It's probably going to be just a gas giant, though. Is there a way to see the plane of everything? So we got 2 planets here. Just 1 more somewhere over here. No biology. So yeah. The SRV does have the ability to kind of point you in the direction of biological signatures, from what I understand, but it takes so long to get anywhere in it, and I'd much rather just skim across the surface and do it that way. Most of the time you can see this stuff if you're close enough to the ground and you're not going insanely fast, and you can see it fast enough to be able to kind of hop up and down and just hop from spot to spot. So I have the SRVs for just in case, but for this trip I haven't really been messing with them because, you know, I'm not doing it that way. You also need to have your SRVs for if you're going to be doing any kind of material gathering on the surface of a planet. And that's important because, especially once we start getting out closer to Beagle Point, we're going to want to start collecting materials to help boost our frame shift drive range. There are some things that you can create. This FSV injection, we need carbon, vanadium, and germanium. And carbon and vanadium and all of that, germanium and all that stuff can be found on the ground with your SRV in many places. So consider bringing an SRV with you. It's not absolutely critical depending on what you're doing, but it's good to have. And let's see, am I able to continue going through these while I'm looking? Okay, cool, I can go through these while I'm jumping. You want to grab the absolute biggest fuel scoop that you can grab because you can see how quickly my fuel is speeding up. I have the max possible scooping that I can get on this ship, and it still takes, you know, several seconds to get fully outfitted there, or fully filled up. So you definitely want to make sure. Ooh, there's a water world here. Okay. Where's the water world? Hate it when it's like this. Where's this water world? I don't... Okay. I'm not trying to go through all of these. Where's my water world? Oh, this is super frustrating. I really wish that they would update this thing to make it much easier to use, or just completely automate the process, please. Because, like, I'd like to scan the water world, but I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes trying to find the damn thing. So, moving right along. That's super frustrating. I really wish that they would fix that. I know they love their little mini game, but how about you guys make it more convenient for us to use? All right, we'll get into the jump here. We'll look at the next thing. Oh, yeah. So, fuel scoop. You want to make sure you have the absolute biggest fuel scoop. Fuel scooping, as much as you're going to want jump range, fuel scooping should absolutely be your #1 priority when it comes to, you know, if you're going to prioritize, if you're having to make a choice between your Guardian frameshift booster versus your fuel scoop, you want to go for your fuel scoop because you're going to spend much more time scooping fuel. You can go much faster having a shorter fuel scoop, having a slightly shorter jump range and a slightly shorter jump range than you're going to having a slightly longer jump range and a much longer fuel scooping time. So you definitely want to make sure that you're always going for the biggest possible scoop that you can get. Let's go ahead and scan this planet here, or scan these planets here. If we find any biology, cool, but at this point we're just looking for something to land on. We're getting pretty close to the end of an episode. Don't be behind the star. Thank you. All right. Get that done. And a few more to go. I don't think there's going to be any biology on these planets. Alright, were any of these landable? Yes. Get out of that. Get that one targeted and super cruise assisted and turn towards it. Which is good because it'll give us a minute to talk about any of the remaining things that I need to cover for the build. And I'm going to leave it on regular speed there so that I don't accidentally crash and we can focus on finishing this out. Okay, so we talked about the thrusters and the prismatic shield. Auto field maintenance units are relatively important. You really shouldn't be leaving the bubble without at least one of these because if you take damage, you need a way to repair your systems. I like to go with 2 of them so that I like to go with 2 because they can repair each other, and I can set it up so that, you know, because when you take damage, you're generally taking damage in a way that damages all your system. Either you approach the planet too fast and you end up having an emergency drop, or you're flying through pulsars and for the jump boost, and that's continually wearing out all of your systems. So I like to have 2 of these with me if I have the space in my ship, because it allows me to repair these. They don't. I have they can't repair themselves. They have to repair something else. So if you have 2 of these, you can keep these topped up. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, I like to have a Super Cruise assist because it allows me. Mostly I like it because it allows me to perfectly line up with the body without having to fiddle with it. I can just turn it on, it will perfectly line me up with the body that I'm heading towards, and you know, it's a convenience thing for me. You absolutely don't need it. I like to prioritize that. It's a personal thing that I like to do. I do have a cargo rack that I'm carrying with me on the off chance that I happen to come across something somewhere that I absolutely have to grab because it's too cool to leave behind. I want to make sure I have that. My detailed surface scanner, I have that engineered to have an expanded probe radius, so that way I can fire less probes and get more stuff scanned, which makes it much easier to get those efficiency target bonuses, because each of my probes that I fire covers a lot more area. Obviously, the Advanced Planetary Approach Suite, you're going to want to have that on your ship because you need to land on the planet, and you can't land without it. And I think that's probably it as far as my exploration build. So like I said, the general theme, for at least for me, is I'm looking for max jump range when it comes to my frameshift drive and the guardian shift drive. You want max fuel scooping so that you're spending a minimum amount of time being forced to sit in a system. You know, it allows you to choose to be in a system if you want to. Oh. Okay, hold on. Oh wait, I don't. Why did I do that? I got confused as to what we're doing here. I thought we were about to scan. Hold on. Did it not turn off? Okay, hold on. Let me slow down. Let me change modes. I didn't mean to do that. We're just trying to land here. Yeah, too busy. So the general theme, like I said, frameshift drive and booster, you want to prioritize that. You want to prioritize your fuel scooping so that you have the option to just blast through a system if you want to without having to spend a lot of time. Because the part of this fuel scooping that makes it take a long time sometimes is if you're not able to fully top off, or you're not able to get as much fuel as you want in the first time, you end up having to leave the influence of the star, wait to cool off, and then go back in there and do it again. So just prioritize your fuel scoop. You're going to want to make sure that's good. If you can prioritize making sure that your thermals are set up in a way that allows you to stay in the star without having to worry about overheating, because that can slow you down if you're overheating faster than you're able to scoop, then you end up having to do the same thing. You have to leave the star and come back. So if you can prioritize, fuel scooping and thermals, that's also a very good way to go as far as I'm concerned. And then, after that, you're just trying to do as much lightweight stuff as you can, except if you're like me and you like to do a bunch of ground skimming and, you have a very large risk of, hitting the ground and doing, a lot of damage over time, I would recommend running with a shield, so that way you don't have to worry too much about, hull damage as you're flying recklessly. Realistically, you want to just not fly recklessly, but if you're like me, you don't have the patience for that. So hopefully you guys got something out of that. I know it was a little bit disjointed because we're trying to do exploration and stuff while we're doing that, but that's my personal philosophy on my exploration build. Take it or leave it. Everybody has their own philosophies on how they do things, and none of them are wrong. It's just personalized to how you like to fly. So anyways, hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to as many people as possible. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed, and you'll be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the options there, and decide if any of those are right for you. Your direct support is greatly appreciated and a critical component to turning this into a full-time gig. Again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys are enjoying the journey, and I'll see you for the next one.